What's going on? This is Jason from G Style Magazine, and today we are talking about the Google Pixel 5. So we recently put up an unboxing video of all the models from the 2020 lineup, the Pixel 5, the 4a, and the 4a 5G. So if you haven't checked that out, be sure to check it out from this link above, or I'll be sure to put it in the description below. But today it's all about the Pixel 5, the Google Pixel 5. So I guess we can all agree. So we can all agree that there is tons of Pixel 5 reviews out right now. So let's not just do another one of those. What I really want to talk about is what are some of those differences now that I've been kind of using the Google Pixel 5 for about a week now. I previously used the Google Pixel 4 XL and it had Android 11. So I feel like from a software perspective, is just about the same. So now I'm curious, I kind of want to talk about the differences since I've been using that. Also, let's answer two questions today. One, is the Pixel 5 worth it? And even if it's not, which Pixel device should you get? Because Google has put out 3 of them with the 4a, 4a 5G, and the 5, and they all have very similar features. So while the Google Pixel 5 at $699 is a pretty cheap price compared to a lot of the other flagships, why spend more when you can get everything you can cover that covers your needs for less? So before I dive into this, I gotta preface this with this. So I've been a fan and user of the Google Pixel line since the beginning back in 2016. And I think since then, I've used a Pixel device from each year after. So I've used the Pixel 1, 2, 3, 4, and now that I'm hit the 5, I kind of want to see what those differences are really going to be, since Google didn't really do a flagship this year. And for many people and many reviews, as you'll see, this is more of a kind of a lateral move for Google. So especially if you're coming from a Pixel 4 or a Pixel 4 XL like I am, like I've been using here, this might be more of a lateral move. So is it really worth it? But let's start talking about some of the major differences that since I've been using this for about a week now. One of the first things I'll say is when it comes to design and looks is the size. So coming from the Google Pixel XL, there's definitely a size and weight difference that just takes some time to get adjusted to. So the Pixel 4 XL was a 6.3 inch screen, where this one is looking at about a 5.7. So it is lighter, so I do like that, but it does take some time getting adjusted to that screen. And now if you had the Pixel 4, they was pretty much about the same size, so you're not really seeing so much of a difference, with this just being just a hair wider at 2.8 inches versus 2.7. Now there is no XL model this year, so if you still feel you can't go back down to a smaller size, you're probably gonna want to stick with the Google Pixel 4a 5G, as that's pretty much the largest one in the lineup, and I guess would be kind of their XL model, even though not truly the XL model of the 5 line. So once you move past just the size and the lightness of it, it's about the feeling, because with the Google Pixel 4, it has actually, let me just grab it up real quick. This is my Panda model, which it has, like, the back has this smooth frosted glass texture to it, and it's not a slippery feel to it, but it just felt nice, and I do kind of miss that and wish they could have kept it in the 5, because it just felt, I can't even explain it, it just feels nice. Now with the 5 on the other hand, I don't know what I would describe this texture as. I want to say like sandpaper. It's not really rough, but it's just enough kind of texture there to kind of give that like a soft sandpaper feel to it. It's definitely not a bad feeling, and it definitely helps with the grip of it, but it just doesn't match up with the smoothness that we've kind of been used to with the Google Pixel 4. So that does take a little bit of an adjustment. But the next feature is probably my favorite, and it's the fact that they finally brought back the fingerprint sensor. Now, I must say I do love that the fingerprint sensor is back. I really did miss it when I went from the Google Pixel 3 XL to the Google Pixel 4 XL. So having this back is just a good choice. And as much as I do like face unlock, in the climate that we are in right now where everyone has to wear masks, face unlock is just not as useful as it needs to be. Another thing about that is that now that I have the fingerprint sensor, I can finally, and I mean finally, use all the apps that I have on here that use biometrics, because even a year after the fact, there's still some apps that I can't use with face unlock on the Pixel 4 XL because it hasn't updated the apps, or it doesn't support face unlock. And I'm specifically talking about you, Capital One. What gives? But anyway, but on the other hand, as someone who has been using face unlock for about a good year now, I do kind of miss it as well. Even with all the issues of not having it compatible with all the apps I use, something about just being able to pick up the phone and it's already unlocked the minute I picked it up, that I kind of miss and I've gotten used to. I find myself still, even with the Pixel 5, picking it up and expecting it to already be unlocked and ready to go, and not realizing I just gotta do that extra point of pressing the sensor. So it does take a little bit of an adjustment, but you know, the fingerprint sensor placement for Google Pixel devices has always been well placed and just in the right area, but it's just now of a habit I have to kind of break, since I'm so used to that extra convenience of just looking at it and I'm already ready to go. Now, it seems with every Pixel release, there always seems to be some issue with the phone. Now with the Google Pixel 5, we've already seen some reports of some people having issues with the screen coming out the backing. I fortunately do not have that issue, but if I was gonna call out one major fail, an issue that Google did with this one, I'm gonna have to go with the speakers. Put the speaker behind the glass instead of giving us the cutout that we would normally get, and yeah, them doing that was not the best idea. It's kind of looks like putting your hand over a speaker or putting it just behind an object and having to deal with that muffled sound. Now, I wasn't sure if the quality and the volume because of this was true to all of the new 2020 Pixel devices. So I pretty much did a test. I pretty much got out the Google Pixel 5, the Google Pixel 4a I have here, and I also did it with the Google Pixel 4a 5G. And I also threw in the Pixel 4 XL. This is my baseline because I think the speaker on this is just phenomenal. It sounds great. So when comparing all these, it seems that while they all don't have the same quality and I guess value matching as the Pixel 4 XL, the Pixel 5 is the worst. I mean, it just sounds horrible. It's bearable and it's okay at low to moderate volume levels, but if you pump that all the way up, it just sounds, yeah, don't do it. But when thinking about it, so the Pixel 4a 5G pretty much sounds the closest to the Pixel 4 XL. It does have the same almost quality, although the volume is just a little bit lower. And then the 4a and is just rounds it out. It's okay, but yeah, the Pixel 5 is by far the worst, and I think this is Google's one major flaw. I'm not sure why they decided to do there, but it is going to be a pain point when using the phone. Now, full transparency, I don't typically listen to music or watch videos at really loud volumes from the speakers of my phone anyway. I tend to use earbuds or headphones with it, but I just think this is something that Google should have thought about, and if I'm gonna call out any one major thing, this is gonna be a major fail for them. So that's really all I can say bad about the Pixel 5 actually. You know, yeah, we know that they got rid of the telephoto lens and they went with the ultra wide for this one, but really the camera sensor that they're using is pretty much the same one as in the Pixel 4, the Pixel 4a 5G, and the Pixel 4a. So you're pretty much gonna have that across the line. So I don't really have any major pain points besides the speakers being kind of like that one thing. Now, I'm really, like I said, the Pixel 5 can do everything I was able to do in the Pixel 4 XL, just in a much lighter frame and I finally get my fingerprint sensor back. This is especially great because I don't have to use any more pattern codes or pin codes just to get into apps. Again, looking at you, Capital One, what's the deal? I've been using this for a week now, and the fact that it's had Android 11, I'm pretty much kind of used to the software side of things. When it comes to the hardware, I feel like I've used Pixel devices enough that I can really form an opinion and thought about it in a week now, especially since I've been using it as my daily driver. So, is the Pixel 5 worth it? Before I get into that, let me say, if you are liking this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and don't forget to click that bell icon so that way you know when we release new videos. But okay, is this worth it? Honestly, yes. After about a week, I can honestly say I don't really miss using the Pixel 4 XL that much, and I haven't really found myself having any issues with the Pixel 5 that would have caused me to want to go back to the Pixel 4 XL. So it definitely is worth it. But even though it is worth it for me, again, like I said earlier, there's no need to spend more money than you need to get something that covers all you need. Even though the Pixel 5 is $699, the Pixel 4a 5G and the Pixel 4a come at different, more approachable price points. So I do have a few questions for you, and based upon the answers to those questions, you can really decide which of these phones is more for you. So I'm going to read those questions right off my little tablet here because I was jotting those down earlier, and let's see where we go. It's kind of like a choose your own adventure book. Let's think about that. All right, so 1, do you care about 5G, wireless charging, a great camera, and you don't really care about listening to music or videos loudly on your device like I am? If so, then the Pixel 5 is the way where you want to go. Simple. Okay, next question. Do you just care about having a good working phone with a great camera and access to 5G networks? If you do, I'm going to suggest you get the Pixel 4a 5G. Let's go a little bit further. Now, do you care about a good working phone with a great camera without breaking the bank, and you don't really care about 5G right now? If that's the case, you're gonna want to spend $349 and pick up the Pixel 4a. Has a great same camera, great working phone. The Pixel 3a was a phone that many people raved about and said was almost like the best phone of the year, and the Pixel 4a follows up with that, but even at a price point lower than the Pixel 3a. So that's the direction you probably want to go if those are the things you care about. Now, last question. Do you care for a good working phone with a great camera, access to 4G networks, but you want the largest screen possible? Well, the Pixel 5 is not going to be for you. Again, there is no Pixel 5 XL this year, so if that's what you care about, you're pretty much going to want the Pixel 4a 5G, as this is pretty much the biggest screen of the bunch, so that's the direction you're going to want to go. Well, that pretty much sums up the Pixel 5 and my thoughts about it after using it about for a week or two. At the end of the day, I honestly think I'm going to keep using the Pixel 5. I really do like it. I've adjusted to the size difference, and I do definitely like the less weight and the fact that I can kind of operate this one-handed. And yeah, this is where I think I'm gonna go. I haven't really missed my Pixel 4 XL. I still think fondly of my Pixel 3 XL with the fingerprint sensor, so now I kind of got that in a little bit smaller frame. So, but what about you? I almost forgot to ask, what about you? Which Pixel device are you thinking about getting? 4a 5G, Pixel 5, or maybe you're not gonna get a Pixel at all? If so, what phones are you looking at? Be sure to let us know in the comments so we can talk about that and kind of let us know why you went that direction. But until next time, you've been watching G Style Magazine. I'm Jason Anson, and I'll talk to you guys later.